Hello guys and welcome back to osiriscloud with Mohammed. Having your AWS account well secure is one of the first things you need to consider when hosting your data and applications in AWS. So today we will be talking about best practices while securing your AWS account using identity and access management. Let's go. As you know guys, when we talk about public cloud, the main topics that often came out is security. People are rather skeptical about that, but you can make your AWS environment a fortress by applying best practices when managing users and permissions. That's where IAM intervenes. In this video, we will see what IAM is, review some of its features, and I will give you the best practices while using it to secure your AWS account. So IAM is an AWS service that helps you securely control access to your AWS resources. It gives you the control over who is authenticating your account and what permission he has. You can create users, group of users and roles in your AWS account and use permissions to allow or deny their access to your AWS resources. IAM has interesting features like shared access to your AWS account. You can grant other people permissions to administer and use resources in your AWS account without having to share your password or access key. You can have also granular permissions which allow you to grant different permissions to different people for different resources. You can use multi-factor authentication for extra security. It means that you or your users must provide not only one password or access key to work with your AWS account, but also a code from a specially configured device. It can be a hardware device or a software like Google Authenticator. IAM has an identity federation feature which allows the user in your corporate network or with an internet identity provider to get temporary access to your AWS account. There are other interesting features that IAM provides. You can find them in the official documentation of AWS. Now let's talk about best practices when you use IAM to secure your AWS account. First of all, lock away your root user access key. The root user is the identity that you will have when you first create your AWS account. This identity has no restriction at all, and you can't reduce the root user permissions. In your account with the root user, you are the almighty. You can do anything that you like. Therefore, you need to protect it as much as you can by deleting his access key first. Use a strong password to help protect account level access to the AWS Management Console and enable multi-factor authentication. Try not to use the root user to perform admin actions in your account. Create individual users and give them admin permissions instead. When assigning permissions, grant least privilege to users. It means that the user must have only the permissions required to perform a task. You will not give full admin permissions to an auditor who just needs read-only access. You can start with a minimum set of permissions and grant additional permissions as necessary. And as you did for the root user, enable multi-factor authentication to all users in your account and force them to set a strong password. When creating custom policies, try to use managed policies instead of inline policies. Inline policies exist only for an IAM entity like a user, a group, or a role, and you can't attach them to another IAM entity. While managed policies are separate IAM resources that you can attach to multiple identities, and you have a key advantage using them is that you can view all your managed policies in one place in the console. You may have applications running in your EC2 instance that need credentials to access other AWS services. In order to give them the credentials they need in a secure way, use IAM role instead of IAM users. A role is an entity that has its own set of permissions and you can attach it to an instance during or after its creation. On the other hand, when using IAM users for applications, you will inevitably give them access key and secret access key in order to perform tasks in your account. And if a bad guy caches them, the security of your account will be compromised. That's some of the reason you should use role. Think about also to rotate your credentials regularly, both of your password and access keys. You can apply a password policy to your account to force all users to rotate their passwords. It's very important. So that's it, guys. These were the best practices while using IAM to secure your AWS account. If you want to pass the AWS Security Specialty certification, you can click right here to watch my feedback video about this exam. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments or send me an email at contact@osiriscloud.com. Don't forget to subscribe and may the cloud be with you.